Damn. Straight up tackled us. November 15th, the day after.
Hey, freshwater sailor. Open your eyes. Come on, I haven't got all day.
Oh god.
Ew, what?
Rise and shine, little princess.
So, it all happened for real, and I'm still alive.
Or are we both dead and this is heaven? The sight is like I imagined it to be. Now, if we're finished with the small talk, let's get to it. I have a Slavic witness rambling in an unintelligible language about two men beating each other up on a public bridge in the middle of the night. I am forced to deduce by the circumstances that one of the two men was you.
It was a true and proper assault, old man. I was riding around on my green dart when, all of a sudden...
Don't bullshit me, Bundy. I know very well what you're doing. If I let you do what you want, it's only because of the respect that I feel for you. But you went too far tonight.
You're not the first one to tell me that.
But I'll be the last. I took your badge back, and this time I'll lock it up so tight that even a funambulist trick won't be enough to get it back. The Mulzberg case is hiding more than it seemed in the beginning. I can agree with you on that. But your methods make me blow a gasket. You have concealed evidence from the authorities. You scared potential witnesses to death. You alarmed our main suspect. And on top of that, you dragged Miss Sharp down with you.
Alice has nothing to do with this mess. She didn't even know I was acting alone.
It's too late now for melodramatic scenes. Alice Sharp was suspended from her already precarious duties, and for that she'll have to thank a man who could have helped make her career. Goodbye, Bundy. In the end, you really disappointed me.
Oh, damn. Path to redemption
It
led
was a tough blow.
to disgrace.
I had nothing to lose in that whole story, and I jumped headlong into it. But Alice... I destroyed a dream nurtured for years, and was just started to materialize. I felt like a worm. Going home to rest on a real bed seemed like the best idea in the world at the moment. I'd think about the rest later.
Lars!
Oh, you scared the shit out of me. Wait, how'd you get in my flat?
By the door. You're not used to locking the door when you leave, are you?
I know this might seem like a maniacal habit, but the key to this door is somewhere in the city sewers. Alice, I guess I owe you an apology.
I agree, you do. Or else you could get me out of the situation you've gotten me into, rather than wasting your time feeling sorry for yourself.
We just have to give it a little time. Then I'll talk to Burton. I'm sure he'll be willing to give you another chance.
You have to face the truth. Burton wants nothing more to do with you, me, or what we have done. Let's admit it. We acted on impulse, sought glory on our own, and do you know what happens now?
What happens is that you'll go your way, and I'll go mine. And maybe we'll catch up once a year to wish each other Merry Christmas with a phone call full of silence and embarrassment.
What happens is that we roll up our sleeves, and we really do find the glory on our own.
That's the spirit.
You'll find a good workplace, despite everything. Maybe not in law enforcement as you hoped. Maybe as a waitress or a cleaning lady, but you'll manage to move on somehow.
Lars? Did you hear what I just said?
Then kids will come, sweet innocent children that will instill...
He's off on his own.
Wait a minute, what? Are you serious?
Never been more serious. We got so close, Lars.
This case is wide open.
I heard what happened tonight. If Rodwed came for you in person, it's because deep down he considers you a real threat.
Did you know I was able to beat him like an omelet against the mailboxes out here?
Did it happen before or after he threw you out of the building?
Well, in my defense, he freaking used Sharingan over there and threw us out of the bridge.
There's something wrong with that man. First of all, he lifted me off the ground with one hand like I was a 6-year-old child. Furthermore, and you probably won't believe this, but I saw him. Yes, I saw him age at least 30 years right before my eyes, in just a few seconds.
No snarky comments? Is that a positive or negative sign?
Having reached this stage, I am ready to accept pretty much anything. Except aliens. Don't you dare propose any theories about aliens.
Yeah, only that lunatic from Weird Cases believes in aliens. Anyhow, how do you explain such a phenomenon?
This individual, and also the doctor, they seem to share a certain taste for theatrics. Could it just be a trick, an illusion? After all, it was dark.
I can't rule it out for sure, but couldn't you do some research about it anyway?
There was no need to ask. What will you do in the meantime? By now, you've exhausted all your valid leads.
Don't you worry, I'll get to the bottom of this Scooby-Doo shit.
I should find out what that strange obsidian item was that I found on board the Cite Lalique.
But during the struggle tonight, I saw something drop down the hole in the floor out here, and I'm pretty sure it was Radwed's smartphone. I'd say that's the top priority.
Then I'll wait for your progress. From now on, we'll use your house as our headquarters.
Fine by me.
Don't expect me to clean it, though.
Alright, let's have a look at the notes. Radwed dropped something in the hole outside the apartment. Maybe a cell phone? Could be. Let's go through the hole, I guess.
I would not be able to reach that little object even if I stretched to the maximum. I'd need some sort of tool or extension.
We do have a glow stick.
Now it was within my reach. And there was the little object I had glimpsed the night before. Radwed's smartphone, finally in my hand.
Can we check this out?
Radwed's cell phone, lost during our struggle. I wasn't competent enough to pull any precious information out of it.
Alright, let's go back to Alice then.
Hey,
How's it going?
I recovered the package.
Tell me you were spot on and that we have Radwed's phone.
You better believe it.
Seriously? So taking all those blows was worth it.
Taking all those blows? Since when did you start speaking like a bar brawler?
Since I've been hanging out with you. Give me the device, quick.
Can you get anything from it? Useful information that will get us closer to Kathrin?
I can and I will. Let me work. I just have to open the tracking software.
Well, let's be clear though, he took the most of the beating.
I love the Microsoft hills in the background there. Alright, let's open the Lars tracker. The hell?
Okay, I'll launch the tracking program. Now I'll connect the smartphone to the laptop and wait for the readout of the results.
So now we will be able to track the calls made with this device?
We should be, but the tracker wasn't able to find enough data from the phone. I guess it's shielded. Darn. Do you see the area that appeared on the map? It indicates the place where Radwed's phone seems to have been used lately.
Oh, too vast to identify the precise spot. Tell me you still have one more trick up your sleeve or I'll start crying.
I could try to monitor the incoming signals received in the last few days. If we can obtain at least 3 readings, we could triangulate the signal's directions and find the location where Radwed was at the time of the calls. Here's the first signal. Judging by the reference radio tower, the call must have originated from the old factory building.
Mama did mention she had called Radwed, now that I think about it.
And here's another signal, this time closer to the coast. Any ideas?
Probably the harbor office contacting Radwed after accepting his bribe. Maybe to clarify a few details about that night.
It all fits. And I guess I have access to a third signal. 1 minute and... oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, the fact that the icon is sizzling and dancing all around is not a good sign, is it?
Not at all. The signal comes from a radio tower near the Mulzberg mansion, but the results are disturbed. I guess they installed some kind of shielding device specifically to prevent being tracked.
Ah, snap.
All right, I'm on it. Just tell me what I have to do.
Take this device for starters. Once you get to the Mulzberg residence, use it to track the source of the disturbance.
What should I look for exactly?
A telephone jammer, that is to say, a little device equipped with antennas. When you find it, put this tracker on top. It is also programmed to deactivate the jamming device. Once it is taken out of the equation, come back to me, and I'm sure we'll get something.
No sooner said than done. I'll be back here in no time.
Just gotta find the jamming device, I guess.
The signal didn't point exactly towards the house, but to the garden. I had to figure out where they stuck this you know, the radio thingy. I was
Inside,
able to cross the garden without being noticed by anyone.
inside the
Following
topiary.
the signal up to the gardener's shed. I found the device behind one of those stacked
Oh,
crates.
never mind.
Following Alice's instructions, I put the device I had with me on top of it. Then Alice would be able to...
Oh god. What the hell was that?
Did I really need to do that, Mama dear?
Oh shit.
Sure you did, idiot.
Didn't you see that bunch of fleas was going to bite my hindquarters?
If you say so, Mama.
Don't hold a grudge on me now. We followed that shorty this far. But where did he go?
Come out of there, Stallone!
No, in the garbage, you idiot! He must be in the shed. Now be quiet and let's wait for him to come out.
Trapped again. Mom and Eugene didn't want to drop the ball. To get out of that shed, I would have to devise one of my genius ideas, and fast.
Oh god, another one of these. We do have a mirror. What the hell
It
does this
emanated
do?
a power I was able to neither decipher nor quantify. Plus, I couldn't look at it for too long without feeling a sense of discomfort.
Alright, can they use the topiary here somehow?
Grope a step.
No, just to
Why
grow it.
not?
Anything else around here that we can use? There's an opening.
Maybe that opening would give me a tactical advantage.
Okay. Can I move the crates or something?
I could build a ladder using what I found in the shed, and the box seemed like something I should remember. But for the base, I need something more solid.
Maybe the pile, a bunch of pebbles?
I picked up a handful.
Toilet? Can I
The
move
toilet
this?
could have been useful, but it was secured with screws.
Damn it. Can I, unscrew it?
Investigator, cook, tightrope walker, and now also plumber. My portfolio was becoming impressive.
Alright, I moved the toilet to the
I
door.
could have used the toilet to barricade the shed, but sooner or later Eugene would manage to enter all the same. Then I saw the opening above the door, and my brain cells started to activate.
I never thought I'd say something like this, but the toilet bowl was perfect for the job.
There we go. Just use that as a base.
Well, now the shed had a comfortable floor toilet.
Now put the crates.
I could build a ladder using what I found in the shed, but for the
Alright, on top
Another
of the toilet.
step in building my stairway to heaven.
Alright, can we grab the bed or something?
flea-bitten, crease, the only adjective that didn't...
No, can I? Oh, I can go on top of it already. That's fine.
How long do we have to stay here, Mama?
All the time we need, you redneck. Sooner or later, he'll decide to come out of there.
Alright, we do... Can I... Ooh, throw some pebbles at the hive?
Can we go now?
No!
The
Have
bees
that.
seemed bothered by my gesture.
Throw more.
And now?
No!
The bees seemed bothered by my...
Keep throwing.
Now?
No!
The bees seemed...
Just keep throwing.
The bees...
What the hell? Oh, with honey.
Maybe. Or
Just throw some honey at
it
her?
might be a good idea, but she was too far.
At this guy then? Alright.
Mama, it started raining.
Don't talk nonsense, you big monkey!
Oh, look at
Can't
what they
you
did.
see there's
They
not
did at the
even a
dog.
cloud in the sky?
So mean.
But I was sure that... And now?
Now we throw the pebbles.
No!
Mama! Mama!
Eugene, you idiot! Get back here immediately!
Make a run for it. Or whack it, yeah. Nice.
2-0 for me, Mama. I knew that wouldn't be the last meeting with the two henchmen. But for the time being, I had dodged a bullet. Then I saw Bobby on the ground. Eugene had clearly let him fall as he ran.
Take him.
It
We
was a
don't
great
deserve
relief
him
to have
anymore.
back in my possession. It was high time to beat it.
Beat it. Beat it. Alright, let's go back to the apartment. Alice, I've got the, I jammed the thing. Yeah, put the jamming device in.
Hey,
How's it going?
The device is gone. I'd like to specify that I risked my life once again to make it possible.
Perfect. We should have what we need to continue with our search. There. Now we have all 3 signals we'll use for tracking.
and how do we proceed now?
Do you see the light trails? They show the direction of the outgoing calls from the radio towers. I just have to select the radio tower to manipulate and use the 2 arrows on the lower left to rotate the signal.
But how will you know when you've set them the right way?
The signals will become more defined once they're arranged in their correct orientation. And once all three are done, we'll have the general position of Rodwed's cell phone at the moment the calls were received.
Hey, I actually understood that.
Now let me work.
Alright, let's do this. Start with this one. Data 1, I guess. Rotate it. As in, they become more yellow. Right? There, I guess. New... There? Yeah. And then data 3.
Laura, the signals seem well defined.
There we go.
These are the exact directions of the phone calls. If we consider only the area where the three signals overlap and narrow it down to the circular area we're inspecting...
We obtain a decidedly small zone. In the Everglades, that would make sense.
Aha! Track them.
In that vicinity, there only seems to be an old, unused building I cannot find any official papers for.
We found it. This is the place they brought Kathrin. I'd bet my hat. We have to go, now.
Hold on. We need to think carefully. You always go and charge in without a plan, and as a result, you've risked your life many times since this case started. We must be extra cautious instead. We have very few hours of light left, so we might as well wait until tomorrow. In the meantime, we will formulate a safe approach plan. We could even consider involving Burton. After all, we're dealing with a teenager's life here.
I'm not entirely convinced, but all right. For once, I'll try to restrain myself.
Perfect. At this point, would you mind if I stay over? We could save a few precious hours.
Be my guest. The bed is right over there. And on the other hand, I can see that you and the sofa are meant for each other, so I don't want to come between you.
You're really the last of the knights, Lazarus Bundy.
Well, gentlemen. See you tomorrow.
What happened to Kathrin Mulzberg if I didn't make my move in time? And besides, how much would I expose Alice by involving her in all this? Those were the questions that kept me awake. The answers to those same questions finally helped me to understand what I had to do. I was going to be alone for the last time.
Alright, November 16, the day after this all concludes, I guess.
I reached the place in the middle of the night. I had to leave Green Dart a few hundred feet away because of the rugged and swampy terrain. A lonely wooden building arose in the desolate Everglades landscape. There was no light that hinted of a human presence, but I was sure I was in the right place. I needed to arm myself before proceeding.
With what? A lighter? And a wrench, right. That doesn't look good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now I lost my wrench.
Alligators. The Everglades were haunted by those fanged demons. The single blow, I had lost my source of light and my only defensive weapon. Oh, to hell with me, and my dislike of firearms. The structure was dark and silent. I didn't think there was anyone inside.
Let's go in.
Obviously, the door was closed.
Oh, can I use this key?
I was all out of ideas.
Oh, okay, never mind. Is there anything else around? The window, maybe? There's a hatch. Can we open the hatch,
I
maybe?
couldn't reach it.
Hold up, we have the tape measure.
It wasn't the right
Not the right instrument, but we do have this.
With that, I could reach the latch keeping the hatch closed. The lower hatch of the door was open.
Alright, go in.
The hatch was designed for a small animal, not a human, so I could never squeeze through it. The hatch was...
What? I do have a panda here. Just
The hatch
send
was
him in
desi-
there. Can I use a mirror?
The hatch was...
What the hell? I opened the hatch more? What's the
The hatch was...
hell's the point in doing that then?
Obviously, the door was closed.
Is there anything else out here? Okay. Bit weird then. What am I going to do then if I can't...
The hatch was designed for a small animal, not a human, so I could never squeeze through it.
Can I ball myself up and squeeze through it? What in the hell?
The hatch was designed.
Maybe we can go around the back or something. No, that's it. We can only interact with these two. I mean, this is a bit weird.
The hatch was.
Call Alice.
I didn't need to call Alice.
Didn't I? I think I did. Can I use? Can I call Willow? Maybe he can come and help me squeeze through it.
Just having to talk to him in person from. Besides, my phone calls with anti.
Alright, never mind. How the
The
hell?
hatch was designed for a small animal, not a human, so I could never squeeze through it.
We have a small animal though. Send him in there.
The hatch.
Nope.
I could see the key inserted in the keyhole.
Alright, maybe we can push the key through. Okay, alright.
The trick of the key dropping on a newspaper and then slipping it under the door only worked in the movies, but I had another idea in mind.
There we
I'd
go.
broken my very useful antenna, but at least I was able to poke the key out of the lock and make it fall on the floor of the cabin.
Alright, now we can pick it up. Okay, gotcha.
The trick had worked to perfection. The shed was completely empty, with the exception of an abandoned envelope on the table.
What does it say?
With a trembling hand, I picked up the envelope. I couldn't believe what I saw. Me, climbing the wall of Mulzberg's
Someone's
residence.
been looking. It's the Challenger guy, the doctor.
So somebody had been spying on me since the beginning of my investigation?
Yeah, we knew this already though.
The bowling night with Alice. I'd exposed that girl beyond all acceptable limits.
We knew that this already too.
The interrogation of Duke Ravendish. So they knew I was looking for the Sitlalique. That's why Radwood was so calm. Just as I thought, the daring escape from the Sitlalique aboard M's raft.
There was on to me all this
Following
time.
my moves step by step.
Look what we have here.
Oh god. Oh,
I prepared a little show for you,
frickin'
Detective.
Sasuke again.
Now relax and let me work. The spectacle is under construction.
It was a trap. Damn.
You.
What in the hell is going on?
Not another step, Detective, or I might lose control of this old, trembling hand and make a fine mess. Hands in the air and no tricks.
If you so much as touch her,
For goodness sake, Bundy, do what he tells you.
Wise suggestion, Eric. We don't want this innocent creature to suffer any premature pain, do we?
For the love of God, let my grandson go.
First you give me your daughter, and now you pretend to play the role of the thoughtful grandfather.
the kidnapping wasn't planned. Mulzberg had promised not only Kathrin, but also the baby born of your relationship.
But it seems that the word of a businessman carries very little weight these days.
I was blinded. All the power you promised me isn't worth the sacrifice of...
Eric. This knife is becoming heavier and heavier.
If this is really the end of the road, at least I want to know why.
This is not a pathetic theatrical performance with a happy ending, Detective.
I've been watching you, so I know you didn't warn anybody about your solo plan. Because this is what you're used to do, isn't it? Following your ambition without any compromise. Putting your work ahead of everything else.
Yeah, but why give us the challenge in the first place?
Ahead of family. Leaving it behind in the name of your ambition. Ahead of the few friends you've had.
I fulfill the emptiness of your existence. That's why you desperately need me.
And that's why you can only watch helplessly.
So now, if you don't mind,
No!
Hold it right there. Keep your hands up where I can see them.
Haha! We have backup.
like this?
Uh-oh, what's that? Oh, snap! Oh, he's gonna use Sharingan again.
What the hell was that?
Where did he go?
The window, quick!
Someone save Eric, for fuck's sake.
Kathrin Mulzberg was rushed to the hospital, while the Everglades were scoured from the ground up by Burton's men. Radwed and the baby had disappeared without a trace. Too many questions were left unanswered. How had Radwed gained these mysterious powers? And what was the role of the doctor? Only one thing I was sure of. I had failed.
Damn.
I stayed out late that night. I didn't have the guts to face Alice. If she hadn't warned Burton, things would have gone even worse. Radwed had tracked all my movements. Every bit of progress I thought I had made was just one more step toward the ending he had prepared. His ending. I underestimated my enemy. Or maybe I just overrated myself. I couldn't keep deluding myself like that. Maybe I should...
Don't you say it. He smoked his last
drop
cigarette.
my last line of defense.
Damn.
Lars. We can't let this thing stop us. We just need...
I just need to go to bed and forget about everything.
That's it? Is this how you built your fame? By leaving things half done?
I have no energy left.
I don't believe you. Not after what I've seen.
Listen to me.
You walked on unstable ledges. You twice broke into the den of murderers you were after.
Alice.
You risked it all to save that girl. And now...
I'm dying of cancer!
What?
What? You run out of words? Didn't your kinetic superpower see that coming? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it'd take tremendous effort to hide such a disease. And you're right. And yet it's far worse than you think. Having to pretend every minute in front of others. In front of your boss, your colleagues, your neighbors, the supermarket cashier. Having to look confident, brilliant, unshakable, invincible. Yeah,
Tough gig.
I lied. I created such a well-orchestrated charade that I ended up believing it myself. I lied because I didn't want to suffer the look on your face right now. Concern, sympathy, pity. I don't want anyone looking at me like that. Not once. I was the best at what I did. I was the detective who flushed out all the cruelest and smartest criminals on the East Coast. And I need to be that guy again. Even if my body betrays me and stabbing pains pierce my mind. I was hoping this case would be the last blaze of glory for Lazarus Bundy. But maybe it's beyond my reach. I can't face all of this, Alice. Not in this condition. I can't stop them. The masquerade is over.
Fuck, that took a turn for the worse, man. What a dark ending. If this is it, oh, it is indeed the ending. Never mind. I guess it's because this was part 1 of the game, so there will be a part 2, and I will definitely play that. This was so cool. It took me back to the old golden age era of point-and-clicks adventure games for the PC. That was quite cool. It was very well drawn. The music sometimes repetitive and at times very monotone, but kind of fit well into the game at places. The story is actually quite cool. It turned out to be this run-of-the-mill detective story, and now it's evolved into something else, like conspiracy theory almost. with its mysterious powers and everything. So I'm quite curious to see how that plays out in the second game. The voice acting was really good. All these people, like, really spot on. Maybe Bert was a bit monotone at times, but everyone throughout the game was really, really well portrayed. So that was really nice to see. And obviously the voice acting, full voice acting throughout the game really helps the game go along and keeps things refreshing. So that was really nice to see. I can't wait to see what the second game brings out. Obviously more point-and-click classic adventure game, but still, that was really cool. Some of the puzzles though, like at times really frustrating, yes, because you have to find, again, it's the whole thing about point-and-click games. Sometimes you get frustrated, but for the most part, the games actually, the puzzles actually made sense, and it was kind of cool to see that they had some actually puzzles in there instead of the old just to combine things and kind of have some logic behind all of it. But the puzzles itself, like the chess puzzle, the music puzzle, those are really nice. Those are the puzzles I like, not the kind of like just have to jam things together or try to match items or try to use items with this certain item. So the game kind of advances. But yeah, it was really cool, really well made. I can't wait to see the rest of the game. And yeah, hopefully you boys and girls enjoyed watching as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you want to. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. And bye-bye.
I must have fallen asleep with my clothes on. What are you doing? Listen, Alice, about last night.
Remember that bomb that Kathrin pointed out to you?
Yeah, I got it. I need to take a shower. You already told me.
We were wrong. The clue was referring to something else.
Hey, have you been up all night?
Everything is clear now.
Listen, I really don't want to.
Answer this, Detective. How long has it been since you've gone back to your roots?
Ooh, what?
I was just booking 2 plane tickets. We're going to Italy.